Okay, so today we're going to take a few practices to do with shoulders and legs. So let's go. So we're going to start lying on the mat with the knees bent, feet flat down on the floor, just resting the hands by the sides. Close your eyes for a moment or two. Find your place on the mat. Just take a few moments here. Allow the breath to soften and deepen. And when you're ready, we're going to gently open the eyes. We're going to start with a few pelvic tilts. So really think about the waistband at the front here. So as we breathe in, feel like you're drawing the waistband towards the toes. And as we breathe out, draw the waistband up towards the chin. Taking that a few more times there, allowing the arch of the lower back to increase and then the arch of the lower back to flatten. Taking a few more pelvic tilts there. And then we can increase that movement. So as we breathe in, drawing that waistband towards the toes, arch the back a little bit, lift the ribs up towards the ceiling. And as we draw that waistband in, that back flattens to the mat, draw the ribs down into the mat. Taking that a few more times, making this a big movement that includes the whole of the spine, waving from the bottom to the top. Say that once or twice more. And then we'll come into neutral. So let's draw the knees into the chest. Keep the hands onto the knees. We'll swim the knees, keeping the feet close together, taking the knees wide apart. And let's take those circles with the knees in the opposite direction. And we'll come to neutral. Take a hold of the back of the thighs. Just rock from head to tail a couple of times. And then this time we'll come all the way to the top of the mat. Okay, so from here, let's take the feet about hip distance wide. Have the hands behind us. You can lean back here, it doesn't matter. So long as you ground down through the hands, draw the shoulders down, lifting the chest. Let's swoosh from side to side with the knees. And as we do so, I'd like you to turn the ribs in the opposite direction. So this isn't a big twist. Just feel like you're drawing your upper body in the opposite direction to your knees. And you will find that you'll get longer in your stance here, so feel free to shuffle those hands back in towards the hips a little bit as you go. And don't worry, the knees don't have to touch the floor. If they do, they do. Just allow the knees to drop as far as they can and want to. Okay, let's come all the way to centre. From here, we'll come to stand. So as usual, try not to use your hands if possible. So when we come to stand, we'll take the feet about hip distance wide. I'd like you to reach the arms up towards the sky, and we'll bring the hands together as we bend the knees, sitting down towards a squat pose. We don't have to get all the way there. Ground down through the feet, reach the fingertips up towards the sky and out wide. Bring the hands back in, sit down towards that squat pose. Maybe we'll take it a little bit lower. Reaching on up and wide. And then hands come together, bend the knees, sink it down a little bit more maybe. Reaching on up. And last time, hands come together. Let's sit down all the way into as low a squat as we're happy with. And then come all the way back up, bringing the hands down to the sides. Okay, lovely. So from the top of your mat here, we're going to reach the arms up towards the sky, lifting through the chest, looking up. As we exhale, soften the knees, fold it down, pop the hands to the floor as we lift the hips up to the sky. Draw the crown of the head forward. The hands can come to the shins here if they wish. Let's pop the hands down to the floor. Come back into a tabletop. So let's drop the knees down. Make sure the knees are underneath the hips, wrists underneath the shoulders. And we'll take a few cat-cows here. So imagine that you've got your back against the mat again, but of course with the other way up. So just imagine you're lying on the mat once more. So feel like you're drawing the belly away from the mat and then pushing into the mat, just as you did when you were lying on the mat. So we're drawing the belly down away from the ceiling and pushing the back up towards the ceiling. Drawing the belly away from the ceiling, pushing into the ceiling. Keeping your arms straight as we do this. And if you're familiar with spinal waves that I often talk about, wave from your cat to your cow. Don't worry if you're not familiar. And then we'll come back to neutral. Okay, from here, I would like you to pop your elbows down to the floor. Take a little moment there, keeping our hips above our knees. So feel free to stay here, or you can slide the elbows a little further forwards. You can slide the elbows a little wider. Allow the forehead to drop towards the floor. We're keeping the bottom above the knees. Maybe your forehead will touch the mat, maybe it won't. You can make a little pillow with the hands if you like. Or if you're happy with your forehead on the floor, extend the arms forwards. Feel free to take them wide. Feel free to keep the elbows down onto the mat here. Just be happy with where you are. This posture here shouldn't at all be affecting our lower back. This is predominantly about the shoulders. If you're feeling this is uncomfortable in your lower back, just draw your belly in a little bit. So you're drawing the belly away from the ceiling a bit, so we're not collapsing into the back. We're just rounding a little in the lower back if you feel you need to. And take a few breaths here. And then nice and slowly lift the head away from the floor. Draw the elbows in towards the body. And we're going to slowly come all the way up to all fours. Let's tuck the toes here. Push it back to a downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths there. Walking on the spot so we can draw one heel down as we bend the opposite knee. Okay, let's start to walk the feet all the way to the top of the mat. So we're doing it nice and slowly, toe heeling all the way to the top of the mat. Feel free at some point you might wish to bring the hands back towards the feet rather than walking the feet to the hands. Take a little moment in our forward fold. Then we'll rise on up to stand, reach the arms all the way up and then bring the hands to the heart. Okay, on our next in-breath, let's reach the arms up. As we exhale, fold it down, soften the knees, drape it down, and then open out into our half lift. Pop the hands to the floor, step it back to a plank pose, dropping the knees down when you get there. Take an in-breath in that plank pose. As we exhale, lower all the way to the floor. And untuck the toes, feet go wide, roll the shoulders back, draw the chest forwards. Push back to all fours, take it back to downward facing dog. Again, you can walk on the spot here or stay in stillness. When you're ready, let's walk, step or hop to the top of the mat. Grounding down through the feet, let's reach on all the way up to stand. And then bring the hands together at the heart. Once again, inhale, reach the arms up, lift through the chest. Exhale, folding it down. Inhaling, hands to the shins as we come into half lift. Pop the hands to the floor, step it back to a plank pose. Feel free to drop the knees or stay in that high plank here. Let's lower all the way to the floor. Untuck the toes, draw the chest away from the mat, draw the chest forwards as we relax the shoulders down. Pushing all the way back into our downward facing dog. Taking a couple of breaths there. And then we'll walk, step or hop to the top of the mat. Grounding down to the feet, reaching all the way up to stand. And then bring the hands to the heart. Last round of sun salutations. Reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, hands to the shins. Exhale, back to a plank pose. Staying high or low plank. Take an in-breath. Exhale, lower to the floor or chaturanga. Lifting up to cobra or upward dog. Let's push it back to downward facing dog. Okay, from here we're going to pop the knees down onto the mat. Come to stand on the knees, keeping the toes tucked. Okay, from here we're reaching the hands forwards. Bring the hands into a fist and feel like you're reaching the hands forward. So we're keeping the arms nice and active. So from here, we're not leaning back through the spine. We're staying upright in the spine. We are simply leaning back with the body. So this is all being driven by the quads here. So we're not arching the spine. We're just allowing the quads to be the muscles that lift us back up. Taking that a couple more times. Last one. Lovely. Pop the hands all the way down to the floor again. Well done. Push it back to downward dog. Okay, from here, let's reach our right leg up to the sky. We'll step that right foot all the way to the top of the mat. Pop your back heel down to the mat so we open up into our warrior two here. So ground down to the outer edge of both feet. Allow the crown of the head to gently lift up towards the sky, reaching the fingertips away from each other. Okay, from here, I'd like you to bring your back hand up towards the sky. We're going to bend that elbow now, so we bring the hand in between the shoulder blades or thereabouts. Bring your front hand, grab a hold of the elbow. So we're drawing that elbow in towards the centre of the body. We're staying upright. So keep that crown of the head lifting up towards the sky. We're not allowing that arm to push the head forwards. Feel free to stay here. If you wish, this front arm can reach all the way around behind, maybe coming into a cow face pose so you're interlacing the fingers behind you, and stay nice and upright there. So we may well be in a cow face pose here. Okay, so let's keep that back arm exactly where it is, but bring our front arm back out, place it onto that onto the thigh rather. Keep that crown of the head drawing up. Now lift that top elbow up towards the sky. Good, keep grounding down through the outer edge of the feet. So from here, we've now got our ribs facing to the wide edge of the mat. Now we're going to drop the ribs down towards the floor. And then we're going to open back out, so lifting that elbow back up towards the sky. Draw the ribs down towards the floor and lift back up. Keep grounding down to the outer edge of that back foot so we're nice and solid here. And open back up. Lovely. Reach on all the way up. Open those arms out. Brilliant. Spin the hands around. Push it back to downward facing dog. Let's lift that left leg up to the sky. We're going to step that left foot all the way to the top of the mat, popping the back heel down to the floor, opening out into your warrior two pose. Okay, crown of the head floats up towards the sky, ground down through the outer edge of both feet. Now that back arm lifts up towards the sky. Bend the elbow so the hand comes in between the shoulder blades or thereabouts. Grab a hold of the elbow, keep drawing that elbow into centre, keep that crown of the head floating up. We can actively push the head into the arm a little bit if that helps. Stay where you are, or that front arm can reach all the way round. Join the other hand into our cow face arms. Take a moment there. Let's release our front arm, keep that back arm where it is. Forearm comes onto the thigh. Keep that elbow lifting up towards the sky. Feel that the crown of the head is drawing away. Okay. And then with our out breath, we're going to draw the ribs down towards the mat. Inhale, open back out, lifting the elbow back up to the sky. Drop the ribs down towards the mat. Open it back out. Once more, ribs drop down. And then open it back out. Lift on back up, release the arms coming into our warrior two. Spin the hands around, push it back to downward facing dog. So, from our down dog, we're going to roll it forwards into a plank pose. Taking in breath here in our plank pose, we're going to lower all the way down to the floor. When we get to the floor, we're going to have the elbows on the mat, so the elbows are wide and about shoulder height. We're going to take off, bring our feet together rather. So we're going to push away through the balls of the feet. We're going to lift the feet to a hover, and we're going to take the feet wide. Keep pushing down through the pockets, our imaginary pockets. Keep lifting the feet up and away. So we're trying to draw the balls of the feet away and up towards the sky. Now we're going to tap the feet together and take them wide again. Keep pushing down through our pockets so that we're not crunching through the lower back. This shouldn't be uncomfortable in the lower back. If it is, just keep pushing down into those pockets or lower the legs a little. Okay, and then bring those feet in, rest it down for a moment. Take a little crocodile pose, so rest the forehead or the side of the head down onto the forearms. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to take that locust pose again. So take the arms out to the sides, elbows wide, lift the feet, push away through the balls of the feet, take the feet wide. If you wish to this time, lift the chest as well. Keep drawing the feet together and taking them wide. You also have the option to float the hands as you do so. And then we're going to lower all the way down. Lovely. Pop the hands to the mat. Push yourself all the way back to all fours. Take a downward facing dog. Okay, in your downward dog here, take the feet a little bit wider, so at least hip distance wide. Bring the hands a little bit closer together, maybe your thumbs are touching. Keep pushing away with the hands, keep drawing back through the hips. Now we're going to take our right hand off the mat and grab a hold of somewhere on the left leg, so the outside of the left leg, and we can look underneath the armpit. Keep grounding down through the hand, keep pushing forwards with that left hand rather. And then we'll bring it all the way back. Push down through the right hand, left hand comes over to grab a hold of the right leg somewhere, looking underneath the armpit. And then pop the hand down onto the mat. Lovely. Let's walk those feet all the way to the top of the mat. Ground under the feet, reach on all the way up to stand. When we come to stand, keep the arms reaching up. Keep the feet about hip distance wide. Take a hold of the right wrist with the left hand. Reach on up towards the ceiling and then reach on over to our left. And just reach it forwards a little bit. And then open it back out. Really small movement, just forwards and back a little bit here. And then come all the way to centre. Take a hold of the other hand, keep reaching that left hand up towards the sky. Reach on over to the right. And then again, we can take it forwards and back, just a really gentle forwards and back, not a big movement at all. Okay, come on all the way back. Bring the hands to the sides, lovely. Okay, so let's take those arms all the way back up. Exhale, folding it down. Pop the hands to the floor. This time take it straight back to a downward facing dog. Okay, in our down dog, I'd like you to bring your left foot forward, your left knee forward. Bring it to a hover as we come into kind of a plank pose. Now we're going to open our right knee out to the right, left foot comes into the centre. Pop your left foot down, pop your knee down so that we have our shin kind of parallel. Pop that back knee down, shuffle the knee back so we come into our pigeon pose. So we are in our pigeon pose with our shin across the top of the mat. Allow this front foot to ping in towards the hip if it needs to. Okay. Stay up onto the hands. Keep that back toe tucked if you prefer, or untuck it. If you're happy to ground down through the fingers and lift through the chest, allowing the hips to soften, go for it. If you're not at all happy there, come down onto the forearms. Okay. So whatever your chosen pigeon pose is here, be happy with it. If this left hip is nice and gently lowering down towards the floor, feel free to progress with me. If you would rather just stay where you are, please do. If you wish, we're going to bend the back knee. We're going to reach, same hand as foot, round to grab a hold of the foot. So your left hand will be grabbing your left foot. Take a little moment here. Again, if this hip is dropping down towards the floor, just test your balance here. Can you reach that front hand away from the mat? If you can, keep drawing that back foot in. Keep the hand down on the mat for now. Draw that back foot in. You may well be able to hook the foot into the crook of the elbow. So see, I'm turning my fingers down towards the floor so I can kind of slide the hands down my leg as I draw the foot in. And then I can find the crook of my elbow with my toes. Then give me a high five. Reach the hand up towards the sky. Reach the other arm up towards the sky. Again, feel happy to stay here. Maybe you can reach the fingers towards each other and hook the fingers. Keep pushing the head back into the hand so we're nice and upright here. Gaze can be wherever you want it to be. Okay, lovely. Release. Come all the way back nice and slowly. When you're ready, tuck those back toes, push it back to a downward facing dog. Give it a little walk out. Okay, lovely. So from here we're going to take the other leg up, so that's left leg up towards the sky, and we'll come into our pigeon pose with that left leg. So bring that left shin to hover towards the top of the mat. Now just pop it down wherever it wants to go. So pop the toes down, pop the knee down, drop the back knee down, shuffle it back. Take your time, make sure you're happy with your pigeon pose. Again, stay up onto the fingers, lifting through the chest, allowing the hips to sink towards the mat. Again, feel free to come down if that feels more comfortable for you. If you're working on your pigeon pose, don't push it, just be happy with where you are. Okay, so if you wish, from here, we can bend the back knee. Sometimes it doesn't feel quite right, so just tuck the toes, lift the knee up and start all over again. So reach same hand as foot round, so right hand grabs the right foot. Again, turn your fingers down, slide them down towards the knee, find the crook of the elbow with the toes. Give me a high five, reach that other arm up. And if you wish, and if you can, interlace those fingers. Lift through the chest, open through the chest, and just keep those fingers drawn in. Again, look wherever you want to. And release. I'll take it all the way back to a downward dog. And just walk it out on the spot there. From here, let's take the knees wide, pop them down onto the mat, at least mat distance wide. Feet come together, sit back into a wide-kneed child's pose. Allow the forehead to sink towards the floor. Reach the fingers away, spread the fingers wide, tense the fingers so we're lifting the palm away from the mat, pushing down through the fingertips. Really allow the chest to sink to the floor and feel free to find some movement here. So feel like you're taking a cat-cow. That will just gently ease through the body. And if you want to find stillness, do whatever you like, make a little pillow, bring the hands towards the feet, whatever you want to do here. Come on up to seated. Bring the feet in front of us. We're going to come all the way to lie on the back. And when we're there, just draw the knees into the chest. Take a little rock side to side. Maybe circle the knees. You can bring the hands onto the knees so you can increase that circle, keeping the knees together. And then that circle can go in the other direction. And we'll pop the feet down to the mat. Take the feet nice and wide again. Arms come to the side. Let's gently rock the knees side to side so both knees are going in the same direction. And feel free to linger on one side for a moment or two, looking in the other direction. And take it over to the other side. And when you're ready, come into your relaxation place, ready for Shavasana. So the legs can extend out onto the mat, or you can keep the knees bent. And bring the hands either to rest on the lower belly or arms out to the sides. Bring your focus into your breath for a few moments. and stay there for as long as you like. Thank you for today's practice. I will see you next time.